guys, and welcome back to another ridiculously fun-filled episode of Kapow, coming at you from King's Comics. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Al, and I agree that the fun is pushing up to near dangerously ridiculous levels. It's going to be a big show.
Well, it ought to be, because it's also our 50th episode.
Very true.
It's
It is
exciting.
our 50th episode. I feel like we should have a montage at this point, like clips of previous shows with some music.
Look, I know, but we're still trying to keep the show under 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, look, you can make your own montage. Go through old episodes of Kapow with the sound off and listen to something like, I don't know, turn, turn, turn in the background.
Good call. That'd be good, because we do have a lot to get through today. We're reviewing Breath of Bones, A Tale of the Golem, Joe Hill's Thumbprint, and The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys.
Yes, and Ray will be along showing us something rather special from his own collection.
Exciting stuff.
It is.
Plus, of course, we have to announce the lucky winner of a full set of this year's Free Comic Book Day comics.
So much to get through.
So
Let's
much.
get to it.
To everything, turn, turn.
Dude! One more turn and we'd have to pay copyright.
Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart.
Breath of Bones, A Tale of the Golem, is the story of a young boy being caught up in the tragedy of war. Given its title, you could be forgiven for thinking it's the story of a giant clay automaton beating up on Nazis.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure that's going to come into play fairly soon. But with this first issue, I think a more poignant story is trying to be made, a story of family and innocence lost.
Yeah, I've got to say I was a little surprised by the pace this one takes. We start off with a prologue that shows a pitched battle between German and Allied forces, but largely due to some quite breathtaking artwork by Dave Wachter, the more personal and emotional aspect of this story is immediately evident, with tight focus on faces and amazing texture to the rain-smeared images.
There's a change in tone, but the tension is maintained as we jump back in time to see our lead character Noah on the day his father leaves to go to war. There's a simplicity to the scenes in the village that contrasts perfectly with the chaotic images of the battlefield, and the detailed facial expressions continue to impress. Now, obviously we've jumped straight onto the artwork here, but it's a part of what makes this comic so very special.
Yeah, which is not to say that writer Steve Niles isn't doing his job
Not
here.
at all.
I think every character in here has a very distinct voice, and there isn't a single line of wasted dialogue. When an Allied plane crashes near the village, Noah's immediate impulse to help the pilot rings true, as does the reluctance of his grandfather, fearing the attention it will bring to their home.
I expected to be disappointed by the fact that the golem doesn't actually show up in this first issue, but I found that the slower pace really helped to build that tension and really bring home the realities of a community really anxiously waiting for loved ones to come home.
Yeah, and anxiously awaiting conflict. I mean, not knowing when the war will visit their front door.
Yeah.
I think this was a really well-judged first issue of a three-part series, and I can't stress enough how much I enjoyed Wachter's artwork. Just excellent stuff. I'm eagerly awaiting the next one.
Yeah.
This is a buy from me.
Yeah, there's a really beautiful partnership that's happened between the two of them. Niles has allowed that slow pace to build the tension and build those intricacies, and Wachter's beautiful artwork really hooks in the audience. It's a buy from me as well, and I think I have to add another title to my artists to watch list. It's getting really long.
It is.
Hi Ray.
Hey Sonia, hello friends. 50th episode.
I know.
What?
Crazy.
Where's the time gone?
I don't know, but look, you brought in something special.
Yes, she is special. I haven't seen a figure with this much hype behind it in a long time. This is the Poison Ivy premium format figure by Sideshow Collectables. It's based on artwork by Stanley Lau. This guy's artwork is awesome, though I do prefer his work on female characters over male characters. He just seems to capture the duality of danger and delicate impeccably.
Yeah, and she is a perfect example of that. Everything about her is really alluring. She draws you in, even
Yes.
though you know she's just no good.
Yeah, she's deadly.
She's deadly.
Yeah.
Give us some specs, Ray.
Sure. This is a quarter scale figure standing roughly 53 centimeters tall. It's a polystone sculpt by Mark Newman and paintwork by Kat Sapine. This is the exclusive edition, which comes with full-bloomed, man-eating plants for alternate display. But I don't think I'd ever display it with the standard plants. I like these full-bloomed man-eaters so much. They look so good.
They do.
I think should we start from the bottom, just work our way up?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
The base is quite nice how it curls up and then the vine work starts to draw into the center, which blends in really well with those that crawl and twist over her body.
And then you have a couple of these flowers cheekily peeking around from behind her. It's great how they're opening up to devour her victims. And it's at this point that she starts to take on a power of her own. Her stance is wonderfully balanced, as though she's slowly walking toward you. The curve of her hip and waist and breast is very sexy. And I don't know if it's the red hair or her figure, but she reminds me of Christina Hendricks from Mad Men.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
Yes.
And the paintwork on her is absolutely beautiful. There are no splashed edges here.
No.
The colours are also worth mentioning. Wonderful green tones that give way to a burst of red in the flowers and her hair. And I think they've done really, really well because it would be so easy to have your green and red tones be a little bit Christmassy.
Yeah, I agree. And her hair, that hair is amazing.
It is.
It's so beautiful. If I just turn her around and show you the back of her, you can see the hands and the leaves folded within her curls. It's as though her hair has a life of its own. It's fantastic detail.
Yeah, I really love that too. Actually, the details overall are spectacular.
Yes.
The teeth and gum detail of the man-eaters, together with every leaf of her costume suit, are superbly carved.
And her face is striking. Just that slightly open mouth and those smoky eyes. I've been reading the forums and some collectors have been arguing that their piece, especially in the face, isn't the same as the prototype. Now, look, I think that's illogical to have those expectations when, the piece that we all end up buying is largely mass-produced. You're not getting a custom-made figure. That said, I'm extremely happy with, how she's presented, and I don't have a problem with her face at all, so...
Yeah, look, I mean, I haven't seen the prototype, but, I mean, I can honestly say she's stunning.
Well, look, you're a Gothamite. All the Kapowians out there know that, you love your Gotham.
I do.
your Gotham world. So, with Poison Ivy, do you think that she's a fair representation of that character, of that figure? Does she stand up to some image that you have of her?
Look, I am a Gothamite, and I am a big fan of Poison Ivy. She is one of my favourite sirens, and I think that she really does stand up. She looks beautiful. She's always been an incredibly sexy character and a very dangerously sexy character, and this statue just encapsulates that and oozes out. Look,
Yes.
I have to admit it, I'm a little green with envy myself. Look, she's beautiful, Ray, and she'd be a welcome addition to any Gothamite's shelf.
Yeah.
She's a buy.
Well, look, this exclusive edition has already doubled on the seconds market, but if you're quick, you could probably get yourself a standard edition for not much more than the, a standard for the original asking price. That said, DC fans, you can pre-order the Harley Quinn, and she's available in the premium format exclusive edition. Now, I don't think that she's as good as the Poison Ivy. I would only give her a borrow. It's just something about the sculpt. Even though it's still based on Stanley Lau's work, I just don't like it as much as this one.
Yeah, right.
However, I have seen the original image for the Catwoman, and I'll be pouncing on that for sure.
I'm very excited about that
Yeah,
one.
But as for the Ivy, I give her a buy.
Now, Ray, I just wanted to ask you one little question. Like, I've
What?
seen a lot of your collection, and you've got your Iron Man and your Magneto. So, Ivy's a little bit different to what you normally collect. Why did you decide to buy this particular statue?
Well, it's the sculpt. I
Yeah.
fall in love with the artwork largely. I see something that is just amazing. It's beautiful. It's telling a story. It's usually has to be something that's quite iconic for that particular character. I don't read a lot of comics, but watching the cartoons growing up, I have this image in my head, and if I'm walking past my shelf and I see that, yes, that's Poison Ivy. Yes, that's Magneto, and just those stills, those images are enough to I don't know, just really do something for me, and that's I guess largely why I collect as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Don't think about it. She's
I'm
mine.
I didn't
All right,
just
all of you.
just.
Where's Al? He's around here somewhere too. Al? Yeah, keep your hands off, buddy. Wherever you are.
The last time we saw a collaboration between Joe Hill and Jason Charamelia was with the adaptation of The Cape. Now we see another of Hill's short stories being adapted into comic form with Thumbprint, and it is just as harrowing, if not more so, than their previous partnership.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? I think it's more confronting here because it's so realistic.
Yeah.
There's no superpowers, no magic, no supernatural creatures. There's just the tortured conscience of a former soldier whose past is slowly catching up with her.
Private Mallory Grennan has returned home after being discharged from the army. Her dismissal presumably due to the revelation of photographs depicting the abuse of detainees in Abu Ghraib, where she was stationed. Abuse that she herself took part in.
This story was obviously inspired by a scandal in 2004 when leaked photographs showed the horrific treatment of prisoners in Abu Ghraib. It's a very brave choice in subject matter, especially when making one of those soldiers your lead character. Chiramelia handles this deftly though, managing to portray Mallory as empathetic, but still distant and slightly unknowable.
There's certainly no attempt made to mitigate her actions, but it's interesting that when Mallory is contacted by someone who evidently knows what she did, it's an ambivalent moment. You're caught between feeling that maybe she deserves what's coming and feeling a genuine concern for her.
Yeah, I think a lot of that credit needs to go to Vic Malhotra's artwork. Mallory's face is always dispassionate, often in shadow, and her overall body language shows a person living her life under the weight of regret. Whether that regret is enough to atone for what she's done is obviously a main theme in this story, and it's something that I can't actually answer for myself. There are so many elements to this. Look, this is not an easy read by any stretch of the imagination, but I do believe it's a rather important read. So it is a buy from me, but it's a hard to read buy.
Yeah, look, I mean, certainly easy is not a word that I would apply to this comic.
No.
There were times that I actually just wanted to stop reading because it is extremely confronting, especially the interrogation flashback scene, which shows a man being waterboarded, amongst other things, which is very disturbing indeed. Honestly, I don't know whether I'll keep reading this title, but the skill with which it's been rendered is undeniable, so I am giving it a buy. Just be aware it is tough going.
The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys is a title that fans of the band My Chemical Romance and of the comic series Umbrella Academy have eagerly been awaiting since it was announced at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con. Now, like Umbrella Academy was attached to Black Parade, Killjoys is attached to Danger Days, the True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys.
Yeah, oddly
Link up
enough.
there.
Yeah, there's a link there. And My Chemical Romance vocalist WWII has teamed up with Sean Simon for writing duties here. He introduces us to a post-apocalyptic world of evil corporations, desert-dwelling rebels, and vampire mods.
Excellent.
So it's quite a ride.
It is. Now, like a lot of stories that have musical connections, it can be a little bit obscure, but I have to say I am completely enraptured with this dystopian saga. We start off with a girl, known simply as the Girl, unzipping herself and her black cat from a body bag as radio DJ Dr. Death Defying introduces us to the world of the Killjoys.
I like the inclusion of the DJ
Yeah.
here as a sort of a constant underpinning to the plot. He functions as a kind of a Greek chorus, filling in the blanks and letting us know that we've stepped into this world some years after a vigilante group known as the Killjoys have died in a bloody battle with the forces of Battery City, defending the girl who they believe to have been some kind of messiah.
Yeah, now the DJ does feature on Danger Days, but in this I think he kind of reminds me of the DJ in The Warriors, which is possibly showing my age.
Warriors is awesome.
The pace picks up quickly as the girl joins a new group of misanthropes and gets caught up in a battle with a group of Draculoids, creepy, white-suited, masked enforcers who wield weapons apparently modelled on the classic Nintendo Zapper.
We only get a couple of brief glimpses at the Blade Runner-inspired Battery City, but we're there long enough to meet two porno droids called Red and Blue, who will obviously be fleshed out more as the story proceeds. As you said, this can feel a little dense and confusing at times, but I think there's enough that's familiar to give you a foothold. Also, Becky Cloonan's artwork gives you a strong sense of place, and all up, this is a strong first issue for what should be a fun series. I'm giving it a buy.
Yeah, look, I really love Cloonan's art in this. I think it gives it a beautiful tone and flavour. Now, I have to admit, I did pick up Danger Days and listen to it while reading through this, and I gotta say, it does give it a little bit of context, but it's certainly not necessary, and it's definitely a really strong first issue. It's a buy from me as well, and I think fans of the Umbrella Academy will be really pleased if they pick this up. Well, there you have it, guys. Another season of Kapow has come to a close.
Well, almost.
What?
Oh, come on, it kind of escaped your notice. We have Superman coming out. We have Sydney Supernova right around the corner.
That's very true. I had almost forgotten. But what are we going to do? I mean, this is the end of the season.
We're going to do the only thing we can do.
What's that?
Well, it's a super special episode of Kapow from Supernova.
That's right, Kapowians. The Kapow Super Special will be coming your way very soon.
Fantastic, but before that, we have to announce the winner of this complete set of this year's free Comic Book Day comics, which I found hidden at the back of Sonia's cupboard.
Yeah, well, you can't blame a girl for trying.
I can.
Yeah, you can too. And the winner is... Ta-da! Thank you so much for all your entries. It has been fun reading through everybody's nostalgic memories of comic book readings. And don't forget, there will be another competition coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, so until the super special hits your screens, so long and thanks for all the fish.
Thanks, guys. Bye.